Hi there, I'm Ben, and this is it. This is the final part of the first playthrough. This is part 16. This is kind of a clean-up episode. Lots of things to actually do. Most importantly, we are going to be collecting resources for weapons. We're going to be killing a few NPCs for just some extra fun, I suppose, and a few items, things like that. We've got a couple of bosses to do. Gwyndolin. Obviously, we've got Gwyn himself at the end. Right now, I'm running up to the merchant. Probably know he is the first merchant of the game, the one that's kind of hidden in the Undead Burg. I'm just going to hit this rat because humanity is always nice. Yes, so this is the final episode of the first playthrough. I'm going to fully wrap everything up. The sort of the middle third of this episode is admittedly probably quite boring, but it's very important with regards to the weapons trophy, to make sure you get all the right weapons ready and have all of the materials needed, so you're able to have everything ready so you don't have to collect anything on playthrough 2 or 3.5, whatever it is, the half playthrough. So yeah, we're basically going to streamline the second playthrough as much as possible, so it's literally run from boss to boss, just hit the bosses we need to for their souls, and then finish the game again. So yes, it's very important to sort of understand what's going on. I do have a link in my description as well for a page on my website, which is a full list of all the weapons, miracles, pyromancies, and what am I forgetting, sorceries. Where to get them or where to find them. So yeah, the full list will be on there as well, but I will run through every single one. I'll show you what you should have at the end of this playthrough in your inventory, so you can match it up exactly the same as mine, and as long as that is fine, as long as it's the same, you're good to go. So this guy here, this is the merchant we met. We've not seen him. We saw him right at the beginning. We've not really dealt with him since then. So yeah, you don't really need to buy anything here. He's going to drop most of that when we kill him. I'm going to grab the bottomless box here that allows you to just empty your inventory. So it's going to streamline the video later on, that's all. Purchase a club. Purchase a spear. What else can we... Yeah, so purchase the axe, the club, and a spear. Maybe a couple of spears if you don't already have one. And then a couple of bows as well I would pick up. I don't, because I don't need them. But it's not imperative. You've probably got most of these anyway, from just random drops. It's just in case. So kill him, and he's going to drop a weapon. It's not this. We're not even bothered about the stuff he drops here. It's this that we want. This is the Uchigatana. Okay, let's go with that. Probably wrong. It's for one of the weapons. We need to plus 10 it for one of the boss weapons. You can also use the Aito, the one we have, the other Japanese sword, the one we got in Blighttown. When I don't know whether you did that rough jump to get to the bottom. It's quite a hard jump. If you didn't bother, then yeah, as long as you got the Uchigatana, it's probably wrong. You'll be fine. So yeah, we're going to be plus 10ing a lot of all the weapons we need for the boss souls. We're going to be getting in playthrough 2. And 3 as well, so we don't have to get any of the embers, nothing at all. We will literally just be running to this giant, we're not going to go to him yet, but the giant smith that's in Anor Londo. That's all we need, don't need to worry about anything else. So I'm going to run up here. I've shown you where to farm everything else apart from, I did mention the Silver Knights, but I've not done it myself, so I'm just going to show you again. So if you walk to Anor Londo, the Sunlight Princess bonfire, whatever it's called, I forget, and then run down to the bonfire coming this way. I thought I'd get past him, but no, I can't get past this one, which is a real pain. Come on. No, I'm not having it at all. So yeah, you want to farm these Silver Knights until you have a Silver Knight Spear, a Silver Knight Shield, and a Silver Knight Straight Sword. Those 3 weapons. They are all rare weapons, and they were all needed for the Knight's Valor trophy. So if you stayed early on when we were in Anor Londo originally and did it then you don't need to do this bit. Just forget about it. but I'm going to show you anyway. Come on. The spear ones I can never do. The sword, the one with the sword is fine. I can never find the backstab on the ones with the spear. Right. So run to the bonfire. Here's the one with the sword. I say I can do him. I couldn't get past him then. There we go. Is he dead? Is that one hit? Yes, one hit and kill. Nope, nothing from him. So I just use those three to farm with, because the spear seems to be the rarer of the three items. Two of them can drop the spear, obviously one can drop the sword, and all three can drop the shield. So it's a nice short run. Obviously put the covetous gold serpent ring on to help you out. But yeah, I'd also swap the miracle as well. I don't do it here, but it helps a little bit with regards to speed. So I'm just going to transition here. I'm at the end of it now. I've done it and I've got them all. I think I've got them all at this point. Oh, this is the last one. I think I'm going to get the spear in a moment. I've been using the miracle homeward. I actually get 2 out of the 3 in this run. You shouldn't take long at all. 10-20 minutes tops. Especially if you've got the 10 humanity and the covetous gold serpent ring. It's going to really help. If you want the extra souls, you can also use the symbol of avarice. Swap that for the covetous serpent ring. It doesn't stack, so you'll get the extra. Here we go. Getting ready. Here we go. So we did get it. Silver Spear. So that's all 3 of those done. Once you've done that, you can move on. So I'm just going to warp. I'll warp back here. And then I'm just going to, I believe I switch a few things around now. Yes, I'm just going to show you here we have the Silver Knight Straight Sword. Getting pretty full. This is why I've got the bottomless box. I'm going to empty most of this into it later on, so I can show you exactly what you need to have. You have the Silver Knight Spear. And then toward bringing up the bottom. No, come on. No, that wasn't it. Keep going. No. There we go. Got 2 of them. Silver Knight Shield. So as long as you got those 3, you're all good. And now it's on to take on another boss. Before that, we're actually going to do a Covenant Trophy. They're tied together anyway. So if you teleport to the Darkmoon in Anor Londo, put on the Darkmoon ring that we got. I'm also going to put Master the Child on now as well. I'll probably keep this on for most of the playthrough, the second and third maybe. It looks stupid as hell, but it's extra endurance, it's extra stamina, stamina regeneration. It looks ridiculous, but it's good. So you stick that ring on, you'll notice this statue disappears, allowing us to walk down here. And so if you pray here, you're going to enter the Covenant of Blade of the Darkmoon. The ring we got is the one we got previously in, I think it's actually in Tomb of the Giants or Catacombs or the midpoint. That's the one we're using, so kneel. And then obviously you've done all this before, covenants and things. And this is also where we're going to use the souvenirs of reprisals, the 10 items that we farmed from the crow ladies, if you want to call them that, and the painted world. So once you join the Covenant, obviously you're going to get the trophy. That always happens. You're going to get the Darkmoon and the Blue-Eyed Orb. They're PvP things, so don't really need to worry about those. Nothing special there. The ring I'm wearing, actually, to open this section up, the Darkmoon Seance ring, is, so yeah, here as well, offer 10. You only need to offer 10. So offer 10 souvenirs, and you're going to get a lovely miracle and a talisman, which is the miracle we're after. And there we go, that's all we need to do with that. So yeah, the Darkmoon Seance ring actually adds a slot for pyromancy as well, so you can hold 3 at a time, or 2 in a miracle, whatever you want. And then come through here, and it's time for another boss fight.
Why would a blade of the Dark Moon trespasseth upon the great lord's tomb? Mark the words of mine self, Gwyndolin. Thou shalt not go unpunished.
So Dark Son Gwyndolin is very easy. He's also optional. You don't need to fight him at all, but we need him for a trophy, and we need his soul as well. So he has 3 moves basically. The one that breaks up into multiple, which you need to hide behind one of these. The arrows, which you can just move left to right. And the big one, which, nope, this is the multiple one again. So you need to hide for that one. Nope. Quickly. The big one, which I'm gonna... Oh, yes, we got past it. And then you have to just run up and hit him. You can get a few hits in as he's disappearing as well, so just keep going for it. I get completely hit with that one. That was a really bad time. But basically, you're just snaking left to right. The arrows are the best thing. And you're just trying to get... I pull this one in a bit too quick. And miss the attack here. So do get a few in. This is probably my worst Dark Son Gwyndolin boss fight. Because I miss a couple of these up now. But it is really simple, this one. It looks like it goes on forever. That one I'm missing as well. It didn't roll. I don't know why I didn't roll. I was looking for the roll. Yeah, it looks like this goes on forever, but I believe it does end. You should kill him before you get to the end anyway. Well, basically just snake, and if he does the multiple one, that's the big one. No, messed it up again. We do have to do him again. I promise the next one will be a much better run. We do not need to go and get the Darkmoon Seance Ring again. It does carry over to the next playthrough. Most things do. That's good. You want him to do the arrows just before you get to him. Give you loads of time. There we go.
Heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
Yeah, so most things are going to carry on to the next playthrough. The only things that don't are keys, really. The master key does, but anything that will allow you to advance to a later part of the world will be taken away from you. Even like the Covenant of Artorias will be gone, so you'll need to collect all the keys up. But I'm going to show you the most direct route to finishing the game and hitting all the bosses we need to hit along the way. We do need to hit some kind of optional ones. They're not really optional, but the Moonlight Butterfly and things like that we need to do again. Scythe we need to do, obviously, because we need to do him 3 times. He's the reason for the 3rd playthrough. Well, I suppose him and Gwyn, because you need to get to the giant again. So grab that miracle there in the middle chest. That's the only thing we're here for. And then it's a run back to see a familiar friend, an old friend. Lots of running, lots of back and forth, lots of warping around in this video. We're just tying up loose ends and getting everything ready so we can move on. It's like a mad dash before you leave for the airport. You're getting everything done. Trying not to forget anything. Don't worry, I didn't. So I've sped it up here. Looks completely stupid, but I warped to the Stone Dragon in Ash Lake, and you'll need to run all the way back here to the other bonfire. And we're going to see the end of Siegmeyer's story. This is not essential, as we will only be using we'll be using saves to we'll be manipulating with saves, should I say, reloading saves, so we don't have to make every weapon for every trophy, all the plus 10 weapons.
All hollow now. It's been subdued. He will cause no more trouble. It's finally over. I will return to Catherine. You assisted us so greatly. I can hardly return the favour, but please accept this. It's of no use to me now.
Moment of silence there for Siegmeyer. Just thought I'd let you watch that if you've not seen it. Yep, she's had to kill her own father because he's gone hollow. And you will get the Titanite Slab. Shouldn't need it. We did go and do the Stray Demon, which we got a slab from. We only need one of each slab. Usually would need multiple, so here's roughly what we've got. Chunks, slabs, and then we've got the coloured stuff as well. Blue slab, red slab, and then white and white. And the rest we don't really need to bother with. So yeah, you would usually need 2 of each slab, 3 of the normal one, the sort of colourless one, to fully upgrade one of each weapon. Fire, enchanted, raw, all that. But we're going to be manipulating with saves, so we only need bare minimum. It's going to save a lot of messing around. So I've walked back to the original Anor Londo bonfire now, and because we've killed Gwyndolin, this is the firekeeper for that bonfire, she's going to be hostile now. But if we kill her, we get... Nope. Come on, let's toggle. There we go. We're going to get a Firekeeper soul. And that is not the only one we're going to pick up. We're actually going to do something quite nasty and kill Quelana's sister as well. Well, that is the very last thing we do. Because we're going to get an extra two extra ones, basically. And now we're going to just go... You can drop down here, so go to Firelink. And then you can just drop down here. And this will take you to the Lord Vessel. And the end of the game. We are not finishing here. We are going to farm the Black Knights, which drop all of the high-end Titanite. So to open this up, we need to offer the souls, which are the souls of all the lords. They are lords. The ones we've just beaten. Nito, Teeth the Scaleless, and Bed of Chaos. So we're offering those souls into this, and it's going to open this door up and allow us through to the end of the game. But there are 5 Black Knights here that we do respawn every time you use a bonfire, and every single one of them always drops a Titanite Chunk 1. Each has a colour designated to them. The 2 with the swords have Titanite chunks, and then there's 1 each for all the others as well. White, blue and red. They also drop the 5 Black Knight weapons, so these are all rare weapons, so you're going to make sure you grab all of those as well. Like there's 2 of the sword guys. Here's one of the sword. He just has the normal Black Knight straight sword, or just Black Knight. Is it straight sword? Basically not a great sword. So we'll see if we can get it on this one. The easiest way to deal with Black Knights, I find, is just try and look for that backstab. So he's always going to drop a regular Titanite, and there we go, Black Knight sword. So that's 1 of the 5. There's also a shield, which any of them can drop because they're all carrying a shield. And then, depending on which one you go for, will be which weapon you get. This one has the Black Knight Greatsword. So just keep going until you've gotten every single one of the Black Knight weapons. Hopefully you've got Homeward on. I should have mentioned that earlier, sorry. And then you can just walk back to the Lord Vessel and start it all over again. So, material-wise, we're going to be farming materials as well. So there's the Greatsword. We're also going to be farming for materials as well. The bare minimum of what you need are 11 green Titanite shards, 9 Titanite chunks, 10 blue Titanite chunks, 7 red Titanite chunks, 7 white Titanite chunks. Got that? Right. Let me just explain. Yeah, this one, don't take him on this. It's a bit narrow, so get him. He'll always come around the right hand side. Just go round and take him up here. And then we also need 1 of each slab, which we've got. We've already got that. White, blue, red, and just normal. Right. Then we also need 117 small Titanite shards, or just Titanite shard. and then 117 large Titanite shards. We can buy them, it is a lot. This sign you can see here, this summon sign, is Solaire. We'll be using him for the last fight. We'll also be doing Solaire's story, so we can use him in playthrough 2 as well. He helps a lot in the Gwyn fight. The first Gwyn fight is not bad, but the second one can be quite punishing, so having Solaire around makes it very easy. It's worth just going out of the way a little bit to finish his side quest. So I'm going to say save humanity again. We do have the Dark Hand, so we can steal humanity from characters very early on, like Solaire himself. Whenever a character stood up, an NPC or friendly, you're allowed to steal you can use the Dark Hand to steal humanity from him. So we want to get up to 30 again. I'm going to offer it to Gwyndolina's sister again, so we can use the shortcut, so we can get Solaire. Trust me, it's worth it. We should be able to easily get to 30 humanity. Just make that priority number 1. If you die, don't care about your souls at this point. Get your humanity back. Make lots of backup saves before every boss and things like that. You don't want to be losing humanity. So I'll walk you through that as well and everything. So yeah, each one of these is dropping a different colour. And then they also have the different weapons as well. This is the halberd. The last one had the great axe. So you're looking for 5 Black Knight weapons. Yes, so I was talking about the Titanite. These, the 117 of each type, there's the halberd and the blue chunk, is needed. You can't really load up saves for this because we need them for the boss weapons. So once you've done all that as well, I've got all of them now. I'm moving on. I'm going to show you a few places where you can farm large and green Titanites. Green's not so much, you don't really need it. It's the large ones we're after. Every large one you find is going to reduce the amount of souls you'll need to farm as well. So it's up to you. If you prefer to farm souls, I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can do this. The first one is the leeches in the bottom of Blighttown. They have a very good drop rate for large Titanite. I think it's about 5%. It's really, really good. And there are a lot of them. So that's a good option. The second option is going to be the little blobs in the depths. And then obviously the third option is farming souls themselves using the phalanx in Painted World. So if you want to buy 117 Titanite shards, just the normal ones, it's going to cost you about 94,000 souls. If you want to buy 117 large Titanite, it's going to cost you about 445,000 souls. So you look at, let's just call it 550,000 souls. So every one you find reduces that number. Obviously you're killing enemies, so your souls are going up at the same time. I'm going to use the rusted ring here just to run across. But I'll show you the little farming route, and it's up to you which way you approach this. There are several ways you can actually do this one itself. Don't worry about being poisoned. Look, I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point. If you have this ring on, you can just run through, so it won't be a problem. So get back to the middle bonfire in Blighttown here, because you're going to be warping back to it using Homeward. So you can do a mixture of all 3 that I'm going to show you. The easiest one probably is the farming of souls, especially if you don't like being poisoned all the time. So I'm just going to do a quick cut here for a better run. So this is I think it's my second run, so I know exactly where I'm going. Don't have my shield out again. That is something I'll get used to eventually. So I've taken the ring off and I've switched to the gold covetous. I would actually recommend sticking with the rusted ring. I've tested it. You get just as many really. It doesn't really make much of a difference. So you want to come over and kill. This is just a lonely leech. Most of them are towards the back of the area. So yeah, it's definitely better to have the rusted ring. You can do it quicker. So time-wise, it's going to be better. And I didn't really notice much of an increase using the gold ring, the gold covetous ring. with the amount of drops. The drop rate is relatively high. I know I've not got any yet, but it is relatively high. Have we got one there? I think that one's dropped. So you're going to have to scope. There's one. There's two. So you're going to have to step into the leech to make sure, because it is quite hard to see. There's 3. Oh, that's green Titanite. You seem to always get 5 green Titanite every time you do a leech. So, not bad. Although we don't really need it. We only need 11 because we're going to be using saves. So this side bit here, these 3 leeches and then there's 2 around the corner I'm going to do. You could probably just leave them and just go to the big lot at the back end. It might be quicker. I know this one over here has just dropped something. He has he? There we go, there's another one. So each one of these I'm finding is saving me 3,800 souls. Obviously farming is, this one does take longer, but the drop rate is higher. What have I got? 4 already. Or 3 and 5. So yeah, I would definitely use a rusted ring. Rolling around running out of stamina is a lot more annoying. Make your way to the back. So you could probably just ignore those 5 in the middle that I've just done and just run straight to the back. It's going to be quicker. There's another one. Yeah, so the reason we're doing these 117 of each is for the boss weapons. So we're going to need like 2 plus 10 spears, 2 plus 10 shields, plus 10 broken sword, 2 plus 10 long swords, all sorts. We're going to fully upgrade everything at this point, so we don't need to go back and get any of the embers in the next playthroughs. There's one over there, making it so much easier. We can just ignore a lot of areas. So it can take you a while. It's probably going to take you maybe half an hour to get everything you need. But I'll show you some alternatives. I would probably recommend doing this one with the rusted ring and farming for souls if you want to switch it up. With priority probably on the souls. But I wouldn't use the middle one that I'm going to show you in a minute. It's up to you if you don't like messing around in poison. I just find the drop rate not as good. So we're going to teleport back. And then we're going to warp to depths. And then from depths you can have the gold ring on again. Because it's obviously your movement's free here. I've not done it again. Shield again. There we go. So you know these. It's the slimes that fall. I don't even know what they're called from the ceiling. You can leave this guy. I've tested it. He doesn't really follow you. You can get through these quickly. If you've got Quailag's sword, these things go down in 1 hit. If you get your aim right. Lock-ons all over the place. Right, so you see the drop rate is quite good, but the thing is that most of the time it'll be green Titanite. I know I got one of each there, but more often than not it seems to be green. So that is another option for you. It is a lot quicker, obviously. So I'll just switch there to run back, because I did a few more runs. So yeah, that's the 3rd best of the 3 options. And then Painted World. You know the deal here. So you can use the silver serpent ring now. You can also use a different pyromancy. So if you use one of the AoE pyromancies, Chaos Storm, Firestorm, Fire Tempest, I'm going to go with a bit of Chaos Storm. Then you can, if you're lucky, you can kill all of them in one go. But it does take a... There's a lot of moving parts, like literally, they're all moving, so it doesn't always work, but if it does work, it's very quick. So I'm going to switch to the silver ring, because we're doing souls now. And yeah, start casting before you get to them, and then sort of huddle in and then cast. You might need to do it a couple of times because you can get interrupted like that. But if you get it right, you can get nearly all of them. I personally don't like using that, but I'm showing you the method in case you want to. I prefer double-handing Quelaag's Fury Sword. It seems to be just as quick. So if you've got the silver ring on, you can get roughly 10,000 souls. Probably quicker. Let's say every time you do that, it's three large Titanite. So yeah, I've just switched now. I'm at the end. You can see I'm nearly 400,000 souls. I've got a bunch of large Titanite already. Yeah, I'm ready to go basically. So I'm moving on. I'll just show you with the sword as well. I personally find it a lot more satisfying as well, to be honest. Oh, there we go. This one's a particularly good run. Sometimes you can warp all the way around them, and you can hit them all with one-shot them all as you walk around. And yeah, so now's the case. Just you have to leave this way. You can't just warp out. Obviously, there's this big knight at the end. He's always here. He's a guaranteed large Titanite drop. There is also one of these knights on top of Sen's Fortress who's guaranteed to drop a large Titanite. You could farm with him, I suppose. You will get a decent amount of souls, so it is quite a good one. I personally don't like to use it. But yeah, that's another good one as well. Because there's a lot of danger, especially if you're not a good player like me. You're going to get hit and then you lose your souls. And there's the other three, there's literally no element of danger. Whereas these guys can get you if you're not paying attention. So yeah, there's guaranteed large Titanite shard there. And that's it. So once you have your 117 of each, the regular Titanite and then large, 11 green Titanite, 9 regular chunks, 10 blue chunks, 7 red chunks and 7 white chunks, along with 1 of each slab, which we have got already. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. You can get every single weapon related trophy. Obviously not Knight's Valor, not the boss weapons, forget about those. I'm not talking about those at this point. I'm talking about all the individual trophies for fully upgrading 1 of each type of weapon. Crystal, lightning, raw, strong, chaos, fire, you know the deal. We're going to be doing 1 of each, then we're going to be quitting out, so we've got all of our stuff back, and then jumping back in and doing that. Keep doing that over and over. So at this point it is going to get quite boring, the video, but it is quite, well, it's very important, especially when we're doing the boss weapons. It's very important that you have everything right, so you can take everything with you. And for the love of God, concentrate when you're reloading, uploading and downloading your save. Make sure you do the right one at the right time. I almost didn't, so yeah, maybe make like a second, like an original with the first one here. Maybe put that on a USB stick and then use cloud save for the other ones in case you completely mess it up, because you don't want to have to go and do a load of other farming and things like that. Because if you do it and you say you do it with the blue Titanite slab, you'll have to do that invisible walkway again in Crystal Caves. We don't need to do any of that again because we're not going for any more slabs after this. So yeah, make sure you do a backup save. So yeah, this backup save I'm going to do in a minute. I'm running to the giant. I would say put that on a stick. So put one on a stick on a USB, and then put the same save in your cloud as well, and then just concentrate on the one in the cloud, and then if you completely mess up, you can start again. Just, it's better to be safe at this point, because it can mean a whole new playthrough if you mess up the Knight's Valor weapons, the boss weapons. So get a few more souls from them, why not? And then these guys, these demons, really don't like them. Oh, come on. Finally. Right, so crystal weapon first. The main reason we're here is to buy large Titanite, and we don't need to buy small. This guy sells the cheapest large Titanite. So that's why we're here. Plus it was on the way back from the Painted World as well. So give him the embers. We should have all of the embers. If you haven't got one, you can go back, and in the description of each of my videos is timestamps of everything we collected. So if you're looking for a specific one, you can go and look in the video descriptions. So you can only hold, problem is you can only hold 99. So we are going to have to come back and get some more, because we need an extra 18. So at this point, once you've bought the large Titanite shards, do the 2 saves I've just mentioned. Put one on a USB if you've got one. Put one on the cloud. And then jump back in. Go and speak to him. And we have a crystal halberd that we got in the bottom of Sen's fortress. Near where we got the gold covetous serpent ring. So we don't have to fully upgrade a weapon here. So technically we don't need the crystal ember, because we're bypassing it. We already have a crystal weapon. Just trying to find it now. Here we go, the crystal halberd. So all we need to do is take this up to +5. That's it. And there we go. So that's the crystal weapon done. So we technically didn't need to do that one here, but he is the guy who does crystal weapons. So from there, I'm jumping out. I'm not uploading my save. I'm downloading it because I want my materials back. So it's like we never did the crystal halberd at this point. So don't get them mixed up. Don't upload, download. Can't stress that enough. I don't want to sound like I'm patronising here, but you don't want to mess it up. It will involve hours of extra messing around if you do. So basically I'm just trying to get to a bonfire here. I'm going to use the one at the top, the Sunlight Princess. And then we're going to go and do the rounds of all of the smiths basically. There's 4 of them in the game. There's the one we know we use often, Andre. There's the giant. There's the skeleton, giant dwarf. And then there's the one who does the magic. He's in New Londo Ruins in prison. Luckily we don't have to go into New Londo Ruins though. So go down. We're going to go to Catacombs. At this point I'm going to upload the save so we don't have to do all that running around, because if we were to just download we'd be back in on our Londo. So I'm uploading a save now. Forget the USB one, just do it on the cloud now. And then he's going to ask about the embers that we're holding. Give him any embers that we have that he needs, if you've probably already done it. So the way this one works, we're going to have fire. We're going to be using the longbow. Basically +5. You should have a +5 longbow or +5 crest shield or whatever. +5 weapon. If you don't have a +5, you'll have to go and do that Andre first. So I'm just going to use the bow. So I'm going to turn it into a fire longbow, and then I'm going to plus that up to a +5 fire longbow. And then we need to go back into modify, And then you're going to have two options now. You can turn it into a fire longbow, a +6 fire longbow, which is what we're going to do. We're going for the fire trophy here. Or at that point you can turn it into a chaos weapon. But we're not doing that yet. I do apologise, I should have sorted my inventory out. I was thinking when I started. I do sort it all out for the checklist at the end. So there we go. Get that up to 10. You're going to get fire weapon. So now at this point I'm going to quit out. And then I'm going to download my save. So we're here again. And then we're going to do the same, but this time. So you see there my longbow's back. All the materials are back. I'm going to do the same again, same bow. Just take it up to +5 fire again. Now when we go to modify, we're going to turn it into a chaos longbow, and then we're going to go back into reinforce and turn that into a +5 chaos longbow, and that will give us the chaos trophy. And that's all we can do at this one. So at that point, at this point, when it's done, see, I'm going to use the slab there. So there's chaos weapon. At this point I'm quitting out again and I'm downloading the save again, so I want all my stuff back. And then we're going to go to Firelink and then eventually New Londo Ruins. You're going to see the smith down there. He's going to do enchanted and magic, and then the rest of them can be done at Andre, along with all of the boss weapons, or the start of the boss weapons, the +10ing of every weapon. To actually do the boss weapons, we need to go and see the giant again. He's the only one that does it. Yeah, I'm stood here waiting for this lift. It's not an automatic one. There's a switch there. There you go. There's a switch. It's not like I've taken this lift hundreds of times. Probably have at this point. No, you have to wait. There we go. Jesus. Yes, luckily this guy's right at the beginning here. He's going to ask for a couple of embers that we've got. We do already have an enchanted weapon. The enchanted falchion, the curved sword. We got that in, where did we get that one? We got that in Duke's Archive, I believe. So give him his 2 embers. Do I forget about the other one, or do we not? You'll need to quit out to give him the second one at the start of every conversation, basically. Give him the 2 embers, then stand back and upload the save, so you don't have to do all that travelling again.
Hey, hang on. Is that an ember?
And then we're going to do the enchanted weapon first, because like I said, we have an enchanted falchion already. No, it's just in reinforce. Where is it? Falchion. It's got to be. So if you +5 that, simple, so we don't actually need the enchanted ember for this one either. You're going to get the enchanted weapon. So now quit out and download the save. I don't want to say it wrong either, I had to think there for a moment. Download, so we have all the materials back. And then we're going to use the good old longbow again for the magic. So turn that into a magic longbow. So the same sort of principle here as with fire is you +5 a magic longbow, and then you'll get the opportunity to either carry on with magic or turn it into enchanted. So +5, modify, and then we have magic, or you can continue to, which we are going to do, or you can change it to enchanted, which we've already done, so we don't need to. So find the bow again. You can do this with any weapon you have, shields or anything will work. Get that up to +10. Trophy.
Goodbye then.
So now at this point I'm going to jump out and download my save, so I have all the stuff back, all the materials back, and then I'm going to bone out of here and get back up to a bonfire so we don't have to do all the running around, which is Undead Parish, or eventually it'll probably be well, whichever bonfire we were at last, probably in Catacombs, and then just warp to Undead Parish, and this is where we're going to finish up. So quit out here, upload the save so you don't have to do all that travelling again, and then we're going to give him, unfortunately I forgot to give him the ember before making the upload, so we have to do that every time. But now it's just a case of reinforcing weapons. So what we're going to do now is the lightning one. We have a lightning spear that we got in Sen's Fortress. So where was the crystal halberd? I said that was Sen's Fortress. I forget where we got the crystal halberd then. The lightning spear was Sen's Fortress. So same again, +5 that, you're going to get the trophy.
Neither of us want to see you go.
And then quit out, download the save, jump back in. Give him the ember again because I've forgotten. Now we're just doing a strongest weapon, which is a +15, so you can carry on at either of these. I'm just going to use the longbow. So the first option, just make it into a +6 longbow. And take it all the way up. So you can take it up to +10. It's going to disappear again at that point. We need to go back into modify, and then we go to cross to +11, and back into reinforce and take it up to +15. So that's basically just a strong weapon. No enchantments or anything, nothing extra. The trophy. So at this point I'm going to quit out. I'm going to download again so that we have everything back. I'm going to do raw this time. I told you this bit was boring, I'm sorry, but I thought better than just saying do one of each, sort of deal with it, just explain it. It's better than answering questions later on. Hopefully it's clear enough, especially with the boss weapons we'll be doing in a moment. So you want to turn this next one into a raw, so from a +5 into a raw, and then just go up to +5 raw, and that's all we need with that one. I don't think this one even needs a slab. No, it's just large titanite all the way. So there we go, raw weapon.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of
So
us
quit
want
out
to see
again,
you go.
download again. I'm going for Occult this time. I haven't even given him the Occult Ember, if I remember rightly, the Dark Ember. So we already have an Occult weapon, the Occult Club, which was in Anor Londo. It was near Havel's Armour, if I remember rightly. So it's just a case of +5ing this. We've bypassed the need for an Occult weapon. Obviously, if you didn't pick it up, you can just make an Occult weapon. Just go through the routes of +5, turn it into Occult, da-da-da-da-da-da. Next is the final one, is Divine. We have, or you should have, a Divine weapon from the previous episode. When we went into the Catacombs, we needed one there. So we have the Divine Longsword, or whichever sword you chose. Turn that into a +6. Divine Longsword, and then we're going to take it up to +10. And I'm actually going to leave this one because it just used white chunks and a white slab. We'd already spent the other resources, so I'm actually going to leave that because we will be going back to catacombs, so we will need a divine weapon. So next, now we're on to boss weapons. So, spear for the Dragonslayer Spear. So irrelevant of whether we have the boss souls or not at this point, we're going to fully upgrade every single weapon we need for all the boss weapons across all playthroughs. So we don't have to mess around with smithing weapons later on. So you should have some spears. We bought some from that other guy. You can always, with the lightning spear, you can always remove the lightning from it. You can downgrade weapons as well if you need to. I'm going to buy some Titanite shards. I forgot to do that. So I'll buy as many of those as we can. Obviously we need 117 of those. So find a spear. The wing spear will work as well, what we got in the previous episode. And then take that up to plus 10. So you'll just have to go up to plus 5, modify, plus 6, and then reinforce, plus 10. And we're going to be doing that for every single weapon here. So these are the important ones. These are the most important ones now. And then after we've done this, I will show you everything you need to have to move on, or you should have. It's not the end of the world if you've missed certain things, but spending a boss soul, that can be the end of the world. You can accidentally make the same boss weapon twice, so we're going to have to try and avoid that. So at this point you want to just buy a Warpick from this guy and use that. You basically need a strike weapon. Warpick will do. Andre has one. So same again, plus 5, modify, plus 10. So yeah, this is the boring part, but like I said, we need to make sure we get this right. Go. Next we have the scythe for the Lifehunt Scythe. The scythe we got down in Sen's Fortress. It was down with the demons, the Titanite demons. We dropped into the water below the initial swinging axes and did the 2 Titanite demons there. That's where we got the scythe. So you want to use that one. If you do need a scythe, there is one down there. Same again though, just take it up to plus 10. And that's going to be Soul of Priscilla. We only need one of her soul. So the first weapon we did was Ornstein's, then Smough's, that was Priscilla's, and then this one is Gwyn's. So just a plus 10 longsword. Andre sells longswords, or any sword will do. Use a short sword or a long sword. So we're going to use a short sword. Yeah, no, I'm going to switch to longsword. Yeah, so he has long swords, broadswords. Either of those two will do. I always like to use long swords. Don't know why, I just prefer the moveset, I think. So the thing with Gwyn's, there is actually only one weapon tied to his soul, but we do need 2 of his soul. We're going to use the first one of his, which we're going to get after, obviously, after we've killed him at the end of the game. His first one is we're going to offer it to the Sunlight Covenant, and we're going to get a miracle for that. So we're actually going to make his weapon in playthrough 3. Next is another spear, so you can purchase another spear here. Does he sell spears? Pikes will do if you need one. but you should have spear. Got a couple of spears from that previous guy. And this is for the Moonlight Butterfly horn. We need 2 Moonlight Butterfly weapons, one of which is a shield. So we do have to fight that boss again next time. There are actually very few bosses we need to fight twice. Obviously Ornstein and Smough, Moonlight Butterfly, Quelaag, Iron Golem, Gwyndolin, and then Scythe 3 times, and then of course Gwyn. But the rest, they're actually, all of them are sort of along the way as well. There's only, which one's optional? I suppose Gwyndolin's optional. Moonlight Butterfly's optional as well, I suppose. So next is a shield. Large leather shield will do. You should have plenty of these from farming the souls earlier on. So get that up to plus 10. Andre also sells leather shields as well, just in case. Next we're doing the Chaos Blade, which is the Uchigatana, the thing we killed that merchant for. If you don't have that, you can always use the Iaito, what is it, Liaito, is that an I? It will be an I. Iaito. Sure. You can also use that. You can actually buy the Uchigatana as well, but you need to be in the Hunter Covenant, so it's a long way. Remember that guy that appeared for a brief moment as a trader in where was it, in Blighttown? He sells it. Next is a hand axe. We should have a hand axe anyway. You can also use the battle axe. We did buy a hand axe, and we also got a hand axe at the start of the game. It was our starting weapon. So yeah, battle axe if you need it. Hand axe we just purchased from that guy before we killed him. Yeah, I really should have organised this, but I could also show you the options as well. Obviously don't use any of the rare weapons, don't use the Gargoyle Tail Axe, don't use the Crescent Axe. You probably can't anyway, but they're the rare weapons. You need to hold the rare weapons, you can't get rid of them for the trophy. So turn that up to plus 10, and that is for the Golem Axe. And then we have the second Golem weapon, which is the Caestus. Luckily, good old Andre sells the Caestus, so you can just buy one of those. It's a type of brass knuckles, I think. That sort of thing. It's a fist anyway. So I think that's actually right near the bottom. There it is. Nearly there now. What have we got left? We've got 4 more upgrades, but 5 more weapons. There's also Catalyst we need for 1. We're actually going to use for Gwyndolin, so we're going to use that. Catalyst can't be upgraded, but you should have plenty of them. We're going to use the Sorcerer's Catalyst that we got when we saved Griggs. It was in that barrel in where was that? The Undead Burg, where we first met dogs. And we've picked up a few other different catalysts as well. So skipping over that because we can't upgrade it, but we will be using one. Onto a short bow. So any bow will do. You can use a long bow or a short bow. Should have plenty of bows as well. Could have bought them. Should have bought some, should I say, from that merchant beforehand. But you should have long bows, short bows. Obviously don't use the Dragonslayer Great Bow. Again, you probably can't. Next we have Sif's weapons. So there's 3 of these. These are all for the Artorias weapons. We're not going to meet Artorias himself. He is a DLC boss. We're not touching the DLC because we do not need to. But the first of which is going to be a large leather shield. Again, you can purchase this from Andre. Should have plenty from farming souls. The phalanx drops them all the time. Along with spears, actually. So we need a few more of the small, the regular Titanite shard. And then I'm also going to need to run back to the giant. I should have done this another way. I wasn't thinking. I was trying to get every weapon done at once. I could have plus 6'd the last few weapons and then gone and upgraded them. So this is my fault. I do apologise. So I'm going to have to run back and go and get some from the giant in Anor Londo. So I'm just going to show you that quickly. And then I'm going to warp next time we go to the giant. So I'm going to skip it then. So yeah, there's 2 weapons left, and they're both called... This is where things get really complicated, actually. This is the most important one to not mess up, because it's very easily done. They're both called the Greatsword of Artorias. One is made with the broken straight sword, and one is made from a regular sword. So a long sword or a short sword. But they do have the same name, and they do appear very similar. But they are entirely different weapons. They're sort of a before and after, before he was kind of taken into the darkness. So I'm going to run up around here, and I'll explain more about that when we're actually making the boss weapons. I'm not going to do any now. I'm just going to go and grab these large chunks. We just need 18 more. If you had 99 before, you'll need 18 more. Again, we do have some hard souls as well. Not been using them, so this is the sort of situation where you would use them, so you don't have to go mess around farming anymore. So quickly run down, speak to him, grab another 18 large. So yeah, I should have just been plus 6 in a few of them. I could have finished the upgrades here, to be honest. So stupid. So I do apologise. But I'm just going to bone out of here. That's going to take us back. And I'm going to finish off just 2 more weapons. So a broken sword. I'm going to use the broken straight sword, but any broken sword that we've picked up. I'm sure you've probably picked up plenty of them. I've tucked all mine away in the bottomless box. But you should have several broken swords. If not, the guys outside of Undead Burg will have them. All the hollows out there, just the regular hollows, drop them. So I'll get one of those up to plus 6. Plus 10, sorry. And then lastly, a final longsword. Purchased from good old Andre himself. And then at that point now, at this point now, we do not need to upgrade any other weapon. It is literally just going to see the giant smith and turning it into a boss weapon. We have every single weapon we need to finish the game, the trophies. So do what you want with your materials after this. Just finish this off. So don't do the Silver Knight sword, leave that one. Right, I'm going to warp this time. I'm not going to show you the run back, but I'm going to warp back to the giant. I'm going to go exactly the same way I've just been. Obviously I can't warp back to him, but it will seem like I did. There we go. And now it's on to actually making the boss weapons. So I'm just counting them all here. These are all the ones we have. So we do need to... So we need 30,000 souls. Because they cost 5,000 apiece. Obviously do not crush the boss soul itself. That will involve other playthroughs. Don't worry, we're nearly done now. Bit of a long episode this one, but it is the last one of this playthrough. So here we go. If you go to the right here and you drop down, you'll see this. So here we have the Longsword, which is the Greatsword of Artorias. That Longsword can also make the Abyss Greatsword and the Great Lord Greatsword. The Abyss Greatsword is Artorias' soul. We can't get that. And there's the Broken Straight Sword, which also makes the Greatsword of Artorias. So it goes off each weapon you have that qualifies in this list. So the Greatsword... so I'm going to make this top one with the Longsword first. So that is that soul gone. That's Sif's soul gone. Then I'm going to make the hand axe, the giant axe. And then we're going to make the Moonlight Butterfly Horn with the Moonlight Butterfly's soul. That's one of the spears done. So I can still, if I were to have another Moonlight Butterfly soul and the spear, I could accidentally make another one. So this is something we're going to have to look out for on the next playthrough. I'll point it out. So I'm going to make the Scythe, and then I'm going to make the Catalyst. So I'm going to use the Sorcerers. We didn't upgrade this because you don't need to. It just straight changes. So we'll leave the bow for now. And that's your lot. That is everything. So they are all the boss weapons we can make at this point. I'm going to be picking the rest up at the end of the next playthrough. I'm going to do a tidy up again. So once we have all of the souls. So don't go making them in case you accidentally make like the Great Sword of Artorias again with the straight sword as opposed to the broken one. So remember, well I'll remember, we made the straight sword version. Right, at this point now I'm going to show you everything you should have. So I'm going to go through all of the sorceries. We already have the sorcery trophy. So we should have these already. And then we're going to go through pyromancies and miracles. If you want a checklist or a list of where to find everything, there is a link in my description that will take you to one of my web pages on my site. And it will tell you there every single item we need for all the trophies, all the miracles, all the pyromancies, all the sorceries, all the weapons, all 57 of them I believe, and where to find them. So if anything's missing, you can look on there. Also feel free to leave me a comment. This is quite a pivotal point, if you will. If you're missing anything, let me know. I'll help you out best I can. I'll tell you if you can get it in the next playthrough, because I'm going to take the most direct route, but you can also stray off yourself and go and get something if you need to. I do know a certain person that does need to do that. Is it Priscilla's dagger that they need? I think it is. Anyway, so yeah, Priscilla's dagger, there it is. So the only one we haven't finished at this point is miracles. Here's all the weapons I'm just going to go through. So have all these plus 10s ready as well. So I've cleared out all of the weapons. So these are all just the rare weapons and all the plus 10s you should have ready to go. So I've got the Black Knight, Dragon, everything. Obviously the only ones that don't matter here will be the Pyromancy Flame, and I think there's a Talisman, but they're just ones I'm using. But everything here you need to have on you before we leave this playthrough. So yeah, Pyromancy, Talisman, don't worry about those two. Everything else. I don't think you need the Grass Crest Shield either, actually. That's just what I'm using. We know you don't. So everything there. Then we also need to have 10 Eyes of Death. 10 sunlight medals. Don't worry if you don't have 10 eyes of death. We're going to be getting 3 more just before, so you need at least 7. You should have, because I showed you where 9 were. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go to the Daughter of Chaos now. I'm going to kill her. If you talk to Ingi here before killing, if you actually talk to him, use the talk option, he can give you another Pyromancy Flame. Not that we need it. I think you can trade it into Snugly, but I think if you to fully upgrade it or something, or ascend it should I say, it'll give you a red Titanite Slab, but we don't need that, so don't worry about. So yeah, Sunlight Medals and the Eyes of Death, these are needed for miracles. So yes, it's just miracles left. We're going to get most of them at the beginning of the next playthrough. There's one towards the end as well. So we're going to kill her, he's going to become hostile, then get out of Pyromancy and kill these goddamn worms straight away. They are horrible, those things. And yeah, sad thing to do, but it gives us an extra Firekeeper soul. He gives us Egg Vermifuge. Okay. So now we're going to go back to Firelink. I'm going to trade these Firekeeper souls in. And that's going to take us up to +6 Estus Flask. That's it's pretty damn good. Very efficient uses of our Estus after that. And then we can finish the game from Firelink as well by just dropping into that hole. Also, feel free to kill any NPCs you like at this point. I'm going to kill Griggs. He's going to give us the Slumbering Dragoncrest Ring, Sorcery, Humanity. Most of them don't give you anything. The Pyromancer doesn't. Crestfallen Warrior up here, he doesn't. I think it's like 1,000 souls each. But yeah, you can if you want. We are leaving now. If you still do have things you need to do, obviously don't kill them. But you can. Once you're ready to go, you can do that. Also, if you needed to Dark Hand Griggs, then you can do that as well, just before we leave. And then once we're done, once you're ready to leave the game, you know you have all the weapons, all the sorceries, all the pyromancies, and all the miracles that I've just shown you, then you are ready to leave. Most importantly, the +10 weapons as well. There is opportunities to get the rare weapons, like the Black Knight ones will be coming back through here in playthrough 2. But the +10 weapons, we're not picking up any of the embers, so you would need to go back and find those for yourself. I think the one you would need for +10ing is the large ember, which would be in the depths. But yes, killing the first flame. This is the end of the game. We've already been here. You know the deal with this place. I've put in the top corner that we'll be getting Titanite chunks and stuff, but obviously we don't need them for anything at this point. You can, if you want to use them to upgrade weapons, obviously do whatever you want. We don't need any upgrade materials anymore, just boss souls now. We have all the other trophies. So the only trophies you should have missing at this point is the Miracles one, the Weapons one, the Sunlight Covenant one, so Knights of Valor, Sunlight Covenant, and then the 2 endings. Obviously we're finishing the game twice, so we'll be doing 1 each. I'm going to do the bad ending because we've killed everyone, might as well. So yeah, like I mentioned before, we're going to be using Solaire in this fight. We're also going to be going through his side quest again, so that we have him for playthrough 2. Bosses get significantly stronger in this next playthrough. The jump is quite, I wouldn't use the word severe, I would say it's quite a lot. It's not severe, it's all still very doable. We are quite highly leveled. The weapon you'll be using should be fully upgraded, as the Pyromancy Flame is as well. As long as your humanity is high, that's priority number 1. And yeah, the only boss that's probably gonna give us some trouble is 4 Kings. But we'll have some strategies for it. So don't get Solaire yet. Wait till you've killed all the knights. Otherwise he'll just take damage when he doesn't need to. So he's definitely helpful. I'll be using summons a lot more in the upcoming playthrough to help you out, show you where they are as well. But we do need that 30, so we need roughly 40 humanity, 30 to hand in, and then 10 for ourselves. Shouldn't be too bad. Should have quite a lot of hard humanity. Soft humanity will start going up again. We'll be getting it from bosses. You'll be finding it. And we'll also be using Dark Hand on NPCs as well to be getting as much as possible, because we do want to open that shortcut up and save Solaire again. He is really going to help with the Gwyn fight next time. There is actually a summon for 4 kings as well, but I'm not sure if I'll use it yet. I'll give you the option though. I'll show you how to get it. It's tied to the Moonlight butterfly actually, for all things. But I think it might make it worse. We'll see. I did it without last time, I remember. I kind of just tanked, put Havel's armour on and tanked the damage. So that might be the route we go with this time as well. So once you're done, obviously summon. Obviously you'll need to be human at this point. If you're not, go back, make yourself human. Probably should have mentioned that. Sorry. And then it's on to Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. Very easy on this playthrough at the level we're at, with Solaire with us. I actually you can parry this boss because he uses a sword. He is parryable. I try and do it. I'm no good at parries in this game. I think it's the shield I'm using is not the best for it either. You want something like the target shield or something. Well, that's the excuse I'm going with anyway. I think you can even parry. He's always going to do this jump here. I think you can even parry that. But you can block it pretty easy. Yeah, you can parry that attack. I tried it there. He kind of turned as I did it. But he will take most of his frustration out on Solaire. Only when you start hitting him does he turn around again. Watch his grab, that hurts. And his sword will hit you as you see it comes round. On his third strike it's safe, but the other two it will. You see, I'm completely missing the time there. It's embarrassing. But yeah, you could just leave Solaire to do the whole fight if he really wanted to, because I'm pretty sure he would kill him on his own. And that's Gwyn. Done. So his soul is needed for 1 weapon. Calm down, Solaire, he's dead. He's needed for 1 weapon. He's still going. And for the Sunlight Covenant as well. We'll be handing his soul in near the beginning of the next video. So the video series from now on is going to be a lot more streamlined. I'm not running around getting items and weapons and things. So you have 2 options here: light the bonfire or run away. I'm going to run away, bring in the Age of Dark, and then whichever one you do, just make sure you do the opposite next time. Yeah, so the episodes from now on are going to be a lot more streamlined.
Bless thy safe return. Let Kath and Fraft serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness. Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
Thought I'd just let that play there. Yes, so it will be sort of, they'll be roughly an hour long, and just get as many bosses done per hour, and I'll be running through it as quickly as possible with the shortest time, the shortest route. Obviously it's up to you whichever route you want to take. I'm just going to try and show you the shortest. If you want to go do some side stuff, level up, farm souls, whatever, feel free to do so. Right, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.